Take this question, everybody. Derive the equation for bandwidth and selectivity of series RLC circuit. Fine. Now, every time you're asked to find out the bandwidth and selectivity, you need to draw the waveform, draw the plot. What plot I'm talking about? See this? Yeah. Take down this, everybody. I'm just giving you the derivation, the solution for this. The y-axis, the x-axis is F, y-axis is current. Why it's current? Because current is flowing through the resonant RLC circuit. So we are considering the current I, and we are seeing how current I varies in the circuit as we increase the frequency. Fine. So as we have seen in the last class, it goes to its maximum, okay, and comes back. Fine. So if this is I, this is called as the maximum current, which you can call as IM or I naught. And when you come down by 3 dB, okay, this, when you come down by 3 dB, we find 2 points here. One is F1 and another one is F2. Okay. Now, when do you think this I would become I naught? This I would become I naught when F is F naught. Okay. Now, at F naught, I is I naught. Okay. Yet F1 and F2, that means at half power frequencies, our I is I naught by root 2. So this is the graph we had seen in the last class. Fine. Now see here, this particular part of the graph is called as bandwidth. Everybody understand? So this is what we are deriving the equation for. Understand that we are deriving the equation for bandwidth of the circuit. What is bandwidth? By seeing this, what you can say? Anybody? What is bandwidth? Can you tell me that in terms of the frequencies? Anybody? Can you unmute yourself and tell me? Bandwidth is here. This is the bandwidth. Okay. So this is F2 minus F1 is the bandwidth. F2 minus F1 is the bandwidth. Understand? Now, there is another thing that we are going to see, that is selectivity. What is selectivity? Selectivity is given by the resonant frequency by bandwidth. What is the resonant frequency? Resonant frequency is F0 and bandwidth is what? Resonant frequency by F2 minus F1. So we have written these bandwidth and selectivity in terms of the frequencies. Understand? Now we have to derive the equations for this bandwidth and selectivity in terms of the quality factor. In terms of the quality factor, we can say, or maybe in terms of the components of the circuit. Which are the components of the circuit? R, L, C are the components of the circuit. Understand? So we shall derive that equation. Again, when we are deriving this, the equation that we should start with is something that we have proved in the last class. We have proved 3 different points. All at half power frequencies. At half power frequencies, the reactive part is equal to the resistive part. F naught is equal to, it's not, F naught is equal to square root of F1 and F2, geometric mean we can say. Not at half power frequency. We just say F naught is geometric mean of the half power frequencies or F1 and F2. Understand that? So you should make that statement that I made just now. We know that everybody, I hope you're copying. Okay, we know that at F1 and F2, we know that F1 and F2, at F1 and F2, what's happening? What's happening at F1 and F2? The reactive part is equal to the resistive part of the circuit. Understand? So reactive part is equal to resistive part of the circuit. Fine. Suppose if this has to be written in terms of equation, how would we do that? Yeah, that is omega L minus 1 by omega C is plus or minus R. Why did we have this plus or minus R? Because we have taken the square root, so that's why we are having plus or minus R. Okay, and since we are dealing with the two frequencies F2 and F1 at half power frequencies, okay, we shall associate positive R with F2 or omega 2 and negative R with F1 or omega 1. Understand that? So this particular equation implies that omega 2 L minus 1 by, this is R, 1 by omega 2 C is equal to plus R. This is one equation which we call as equation A. Which is the next equation? Okay, this is omega L minus 1 by omega 1 C is equal to minus R. Let's call this as equation B, as we had done earlier. Get this point? Now this is something that we have seen in the previous class. And when did we consider this? When we were asked to prove that F naught is the geometric mean of F1 and F2, we took the same equations. Now again we are taking the same equations to obtain the equation for bandwidth and the selectivity. Understand that? Now when we proved F naught is square root of F1 and F2, we added equations A and B. Now what you have to do to derive the equation for bandwidth is you have to subtract equation B from A. Everyone understand why we have to subtract equation B from A? Because I need something like an equation which is F2 minus F1. So if F2 minus F1 is something that you're not able to understand, you can say omega 2 minus omega 1. Just these are the frequencies in radians, these are the frequencies in hertz. This is radians per second. Understand that? So what we have to do, if we have to have a parameter like omega 2 minus omega 1, what we need to do? Yeah, we need omega 2 minus 1 omega 1. What do we need to do? We need to subtract equation B from A. Okay, so we shall say here subtracting everybody take down that equation B from A. that is B, sorry, it's not B, it's A minus B, subtracting B from A. Understand that? What does this imply? What does this imply? Do that, everybody. Subtract B from A, keeping the common part out. So we can say this is omega 2 minus omega 1, okay, and common term is L. I mean, in this term, it's omega 2 minus omega 1 with common term L out. Similarly, what we are asked to do, we have to be subtracting B from A. How would that be? What would it become if it is so? So this is minus, right? So you can keep that minus out. Possible? Can we keep that minus out? And see, let's see what happens. 1 by C is common. 1 by omega 2 minus is already there. Minus is already there. So we can say it's minus of minus. It becomes plus 1 by omega 1. Okay. Is this fine? 1 by C is common factor. Then you have plus R, minus of minus, minus of minus R. So it becomes 2R. Is this okay with you? Now, the same equation can be written in this form. What is that? This is omega 2 minus omega 1 L. Okay. See if I can write this particular equation in this form. It's plus, I'll take out. I'll say omega 1. Okay. Then this is minus 1 by omega 2. And I'll say 1 by C is 2R. Just because I want omega 2 minus omega 1 here also. Understand that? Here also, I need omega 2 minus omega 1. Omega 2 minus omega 1 here I have. Another omega 2 minus omega 1 if I have to rearrange these in this particular fashion. I hope you have no problems with that. Now, further, omega 2 minus omega 1 L, okay. After taking the LCM, how would it look like? It's omega 2 minus omega 1 divided by omega 1 omega 2 1 by C, and you have 2R on right hand side. Fine. Can anybody tell me what is omega 1 omega 2 in terms of L and C? Can anybody unmute yourself and tell me what is omega 1 omega 2 in terms of L and C? You should always remember, yeah, you should, whatever equations we have derived till now, you should remember that. What is that? Omega naught is square root of omega 1 omega 2. Okay, so this can be written as omega naught square is equal to omega 1 omega 2, right? I can also write my omega as 1 by root LC, which further implies what? Omega naught square is 1 by LC. That means from these two equations, what's happening? From these two equations, we can say that 1 by LC is omega 1 omega 2. Everybody understand that? We can keep this as the reference to write. See here, since omega 1 omega 2 is 1 by LC, what does this imply? This implies that omega 2 minus omega 1 into L, okay, plus omega 2 minus omega 1. Now this is what omega 1 omega 2 is 1 by LC, and you have 1 by C here. So what happens with this? Can you just see what's happening with this? So what's happening? See here? This is C and this C goes off and this L comes to the numerator. Fine. So you have omega 2 minus omega 1 into L plus omega 2 minus omega 1. Okay. That L comes to the numerator. Okay. And you have 2R here. So this would be 2 omega 2 minus omega 1 into L, and it would be 2R. What happens further? This 2 and 2 goes off, so you're left with omega 2 minus omega 1 equal to R by L. So this also is bandwidth. Now what is omega 2 minus omega 1? Omega 2 minus omega 1 is actually the bandwidth now. Okay, bandwidth in radians per second. Now suppose if this has to be written in terms of frequencies f1 and f2. So what you can say? Therefore, bandwidth which is given by BW f2 minus f1 would be, anybody, what would it be? If omega 2 minus omega 1 is R by L, what is f2 minus f1? Anybody there who can unmute and tell me that? Okay, see here, it is R by 2 pi f. So this is your bandwidth f2 minus f1. Okay, so this is what we were asked to derive. Yeah, this is what our equation is. The sign equation for bandwidth is in terms of frequencies, and that in terms of components, the circuit components, we have obtained that to be this. Is everybody okay with that? Now, with bandwidth obtained, we are yet to obtain the selectivity, which is given as f0 by f2 minus f1. What is f0? F0 is the resonant frequency, and f2 minus f1 is bandwidth, which we just have obtained. Okay, so selectivity is given by, now selectivity is given by what? It's yes. Let's say selectivity is given by yes. What is it? It is resonant frequency divided by the bandwidth. What is resonant frequency in terms of F? It is F naught, and bandwidth in terms of frequency in hertz is F2 minus F1. Everybody understand? So selectivity is given by the resonant frequency by bandwidth. Resonant frequency is F naught and bandwidth is F2 minus F1. And we just now have derived what is F2 minus F1 in terms of the system components. Okay, we shall write that. Therefore, selectivity can be written as F naught by R by F naught by, what is that? R by 2 pi L. Is everybody okay with that? Now, this 2 pi you take to the numerator. 2 pi F naught is what we're going to have. And in the denominator, 2 pi F naught you had, and you can have this L also. 2 pi F naught L, and what remains in the denominator? It's R. What is 2 pi F naught? 2 pi F naught is omega naught, and L by R is here. Have you seen this equation earlier? Have you seen this equation earlier? That's the question. Anybody would like to respond to that? Have you seen omega naught L by R? If yes, where?
Quality factor.
Yes? Go on, go on.
Quality factor.
Quality factor. Yeah. It's quality factor at resonance or at non-resonance.
With resonance.
How do we say it's quality factor at resonance?
The omega naught is there.
Very good, very good. Omega naught very clearly says that we are looking at the quality factor at resonance. Understand that? Okay. Therefore, you can say since omega naught L by R is Q naught, implies our selectivity yes is actually equal to quality factor at resonance. What is yes? What is yes? What is selectivity? Selectivity is the quality factor. Everybody understand that? Now, can we uh, relate the quality factor and bandwidth now? How quality factor is related to the selectivity? How the bandwidth is related to the selectivity? See here, bandwidth is inversely proportional to yes, right? That's why I can say. That's why I can say Q naught is also inversely proportional to the bandwidth. Is that okay with you? Or in other terms, we can say yes is Q naught, okay, and it is F naught by bandwidth. Understand that? Now, see what is bandwidth? So bandwidth is F naught by Q naught. You can see this. What is that we are important? What is important here? What is important? Selectivity and quality factor are equal. Quality factor at resonance. Now, when would be the selectivity good? When would be the selectivity good? When quality factor is a big number. Understand this discussion, everybody. Be keen to this because the whole resonance concept is dependent on this. Selectivity is a very important concept. Okay, and just now we have seen that selectivity is equal to quality factor at resonance. Fine. Now, what is selectivity? What is the application we are using resonant circuit for? It's a frequency selective circuit. Everybody understand? It's a frequency selective circuit. Fine. 10 minutes remaining, you can give your attendance. Okay. I'll keep explaining. But listen to me very carefully. Listen to me very carefully. See here, I said resonant circuit, resonant, don't take down anything, just listen here now. Resonant circuit is frequency selective circuit, we can say. So if it has to select a frequency, what should be its bandwidth? Okay, is what we are looking at. Now again, let's go back to the example of the what? Radio station. Example, let's say radio receiver. What happens in radio receiver? Radio receiver has got a tuner. Okay, using that tuner, we tune the radio receiver to a particular station. What we are doing, we are selecting a particular radio station so that we can listen to what is being broadcasted from that particular radio station. And if we change the tune, if we tune the circuit or the radio receiver, we can even tune ourselves to the other radio station which also is broadcasting at the same time. Everybody understand that? Now everybody listen. This is very important, and you would appreciate also the concept if you understand. Let's say there are two radio stations. Okay, let's say there is a radio station A. Okay, and let's say there is a radio station B. Okay, now let me just ask you for interaction. Fine. Now you have to interact. Anybody can interact. I'm just asking you the common sense question. Fine. Now suppose we have a radio receiver in hand, and if we have to tune it, would we be tuning it to one station or two stations at a time? Anybody? If we have a radio receiver, would we like to tune it to one particular stations or multiple stations at a time?
One station.
One station. Which means that if we have Bhadravati station, right? Radio station we have radio station in Dharwad, we have radio stations, FM radio stations in Bangalore. Okay, maybe you people will better relate to the radio stations in Bangalore, right? You hardly listen to this Bhadravati and Dharwad, they are AM stations. Understand? When we are selecting, when we are tuning a radio, we want just to listen to one particular station. When we are listening to one particular station, okay, the other station will also we get to listen to other station also, means what's happening there? What's happening to the quality of the signal? What's happening to the quality of the signal? I'm trying to tune it to station B, or let's say I'm trying to tune it to Bhadravati station. I get some signals from a Dharwad station also. That is correct or that is wrong? That's wrong. So that means the quality is not good. If the quality is not good, the quality factor is a small number. And since quality factor is a small number, the selectivity is not good. See, they both are equal now. If we are not able to select one particular station, okay, the quality of the receiver is not good. In other words, the selectivity is not good because there is interference, we can say. Interference is the term. When would there be an interference? When I'm trying to tune to Bhadravati station, I'm getting to listen to Dharwad station also, and both the signals are there. I think those who have used these radio receivers for tuning, okay, might have experienced this. Okay, we want to tune it to one particular station, but we get to listen to the other station also unintentionally. That was not my that is not my intention, but unintentionally when I'm tuning to station B, station A also gets tuned. Two stations tuned at a time means quality is not good, selectivity is not good, interference is the result. Okay, so how to get rid of this? See here, how to get rid of this? Everybody listen here. Now, when I have this frequency selective circuit, okay, I want that frequency selective circuit response to be very narrow. If it is very wide, what's happening here? Both station A and station B gets selected. Okay, and the tuning will not be good. So what I want my response, the response that we have just seen. I want that response to be something like this or something like this, so that I get to listen to station A only, so that I can get to listen to station B only. This is wrong. Understand that? So now tell me, with whatever you understood, for selectivity to be good, the quality factor anyways is a bigger number. For selectivity to be a good, in other words, to tune to one particular station without interference from any of the stations, what should be our bandwidth of the circuit? What should be the bandwidth of the resonant circuit? Yes. What should
Minimum.
be the tell me. The bandwidth F2 minus F1 should be what for selectivity to be good? Go on. Say that. Somebody was attempting that. Yeah. Go on.
It should be minimum.
The bandwidth should be minimum. Good. Can I say it should be narrow? Should not be wide? Can I say that? It should be narrow. It should be minimum. Okay. So you should understand that is what is happening here. See here. See this? Selectivity is here. For selectivity to be good, the quality factor has to be a big number, and that would only happen when this bandwidth is inversely proportional to the quality factor or the selectivity. So selectivity is good when bandwidth is small. Selectivity is good when quality factor is a big number, right? So quality factor would be a big number when this denominator is a small entity. So for selectivity to be good, the bandwidth has to be narrow. Everybody understand this? Yes? I hope this makes sense to you. Okay, we have 2 more minutes left. If you have anything to ask regarding this, you can ask. Any doubts regarding this? Selectivity stuff you understood, right? For selectivity to be good, I want the quality factor to be a big number. For selectivity to be good, I want quality factor to be a big number. For this quality factor to be a big number, I want this bandwidth to be very small. Okay, if the bandwidth is narrow, then I can tune to one particular station. If bandwidth is large, the multiple stations get tuned to, and the interference happens, which is not good. Okay with this, everybody? Yeah. Now I'll stop this session. Okay. Again,